This video reveals a mental magic that assures success, that absolutely guarantees achievement. Whether your profession is in the arts or business, in science or sales, in sports, war, or politics, here you will learn the secret way in which your mind is tied to the source of all power. You will learn how you are capable of becoming anything and doing anything you can visualize. Every person's consciousness is constantly changing. It is trapped at the knife-edge overlap of past and future. It reacts rather than acts. It is incomplete and partial. It eternally seeks itself. For since the mere state of being throws no light on that state, consciousness learns of itself through reaction to outside stimuli. If a person comes to believe they are unsuccessful, it is because they carry the impression they are unsuccessful. And this conclusion, once adopted, inescapably molds them into the shape of the thing they believe locks them in a prison of their own making. The magic by which a person becomes free is imagination, by training themselves to cast up mental picture of the thing they desire. By resisting sensual stimuli, even envisaging the exact opposite, man tends to assume a factual position in accordance with his vision, for his vision then becomes his experience rather than the sensual stimuli that moved him before. Consciousness always assumes a form to suit its knowledge of itself. And where such knowledge breaks beyond the limits imposed by sensory experience, man begins to grow into the image of the secret self. There is only one mind in all creation. That mind is in everyone, is in its true state of being, not confined to anyone, not confined to the body. It is a central knowing consciousness in which everything dwells, which dwells in everything. In a bodily confined state, it assumes the limitations imposed upon it by the knowledge of itself, which it receives through the senses. But when the bondage to those senses is broken by development of an inner power to perceive and know directly, then slavery to its embodiment is at an end. Perfect action and perfect work stem from an inner conviction of the mental cause behind all things. A man changes the state of his outer world by first changing the state of his inner world. Everything that comes to him from the outside is the result of his own consciousness. When he changes the consciousness, he alters his perception and thus the world he sees. By coming to a clear understanding of the process and the effect of mental imagery, he is led irrevocably along the correct path to his goal. By working with the cause of all things, his own consciousness, he achieves infallibility and works for inasmuch as his mental imagery propels him into action. That action is always true to the picture in his mind and will deliver him its material counterpart. Certainly in this video you will find a program for training the image power of the mind so that a scene or situation cast up in consciousness will arrive in 3 dimensions, with color and sound pulsing with life as real for you as the outside world. Haven't you ever dreamed such dreams? Haven't you sometimes in sleep become immersed in a mental and spiritual world with such solidity and dimension that you were certain it was real in the material world? A delusion. If ever you have known the overwhelming power of mental imagery to influence your attitude and perception, then you will quickly see that the salvation of each of us is to train his image power to obey him. In this manner, it is possible to become free from the promptings and urgings of nature, from death and disease and destruction, from ineffectuality and frustration. For the man whose inner power of vision transcends the constantly distracting stimuli of the outer world has taken charge of his own life, is truly master of his fate.